I'm going to try making a game by combining a few random words and ideas. Depending on what I get, it may be very easy or very hard. Feel free to leave any ideas in the comments and I may add them to the wheel and make another video like this but with your ideas. It can be really any word or idea, even something very specific, and that will make it even harder to include in a game. Let's spin. The first result is stealth, meaning it will have to be a stealth game or at least a game with some stealth elements. Then time dilation, which means slowing down or speeding up time. So far it looks pretty easy to put into a game. I can just do a stealth game with some time dilation, but third I got only press each input once. That will be very difficult. Next, keyboard. Obviously every game uses the keyboard, but I will try to use it in a more unique way. Finally, shoot, which should be pretty easy to implement into a stealth game. Now that I had my 5 random words and ideas, I brainstormed for ideas on how to make a game with them. Thankfully they fit together pretty well, so except the each input once, it will be a pretty standard stealth game. First I got a free female character from Royal Skies on YouTube. I modified it a little bit and added some animations. And also some physics, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to appeal to a wider audience here. Then I started working on building basic levels using free assets from Quaternius. I managed to make a basic room, then I started working on the aiming and the shooting. I somehow made all of the characters do an epic Naruto run. Not sure how I did that, but I kinda like it. I also made the player do the helicopter. After fixing all that, the shooting looked pretty good. So the shoot from the spin is already present in the game, so that's good. Then I started working on making enemies that will shoot you if they see you, so you have to sneak around and behind them. My first try, somehow I created a demon possessed enemy that would fly around after you kill them. I finally managed to make them detect you only if you are within their line of sight and shoot you. So the stealth is now in the game as well. Now for the keyboard, I could say it's already done because you move using WASD, but that's boring. So I decided to add objects in the level that move or react when you press some keys. For example, this box moves when the player presses E. Finally, I added a slow motion for a few seconds when you press Q for the time dilation, and a slow motion effect when aiming and after being shot. I also added code to disable every input after you used it once. So you can only use WASD, right click, left click, Q and all the other keys only once per level. I made a few levels with different mechanics and honestly all the elements fit together pretty well, so that was pretty easy to do. The only one that really made the game weird was to press each input only once, because not being able to move forward with W after you released it feels weird. I also tried building the game to HTML to upload it and let you play it, but somehow my character was invisible and the levels were weird. I guess that some of the things I use are not supported on the web. Anyway, if enough people ask for it, I could build a exe and put it in the description as well, or put it on itch.io or whatever. So the final result is a pretty basic stealth game. The input being limited to once per level makes it pretty hard because you can only shoot once. And you kind of have to keep W down the whole time unless you want to run to the side and not see where you're going. But the time dilation power helps a lot to move where you want before the enemies can hit you. The keyboard keys moving some objects is kind of strange, but it's not that bad. So overall the results is okay and it was pretty easy to do. Now it's up to you to leave some comments with your ideas. If there are good ones, I'll add them to the wheel and speed a few random ones from the comments and try to make a game with it in the next video. You can comment any word or ideas, general or specific, either some game mechanics or just some random things, it doesn't matter. Let's see what we can create together.